All right, let's continue reviewing on the next screen with the red bubbles. The next amendments we're going to pick up with number 13. And the 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments all go together. We're going to make a special text box for them. 13th, 14th, and 15th. These are the Reconstruction Amendments. Reconstruction, remember, is that time period right after the Civil War where the country was rebuilding. And these amendments have to do with the rights for the former slaves. And so the 13th Amendment is the abolition of slavery, ends slavery. The 14th Amendment grants citizenship to all former slaves, equal protection of the law for all citizens. And the 15th Amendment gave African American men the right to vote. It said you could not deny someone's right to vote by race. So if y'all remember, we kind of went over this in class this way. Free citizens vote. Free citizens vote. Those are the Reconstruction era amendments. The remaining amendments on this screen, 16 through 19, also all go together. They are the Progressive era amendments. Let's make a little box for them. If you remember the Progressive era, the root word is progress. This is when, after the Gilded Age, when the power went back to the people. So keep those P's together. Progressive era, power to the people, where the government became responsive and started passing laws to make things better for the people of the United States. So with the 16th Amendment, that is income tax. So think about right about age 16 is when you can start working, and when you get your paycheck, they take out taxes on your paycheck. The 17th Amendment is the direct election of senators by the people. The 18th Amendment is the prohibition of alcohol. So 18th Amendment, you can't drink, and then we'll see which amendment says that you can. And then women's right to vote, that's the 19th Amendment. There are a couple of vocabulary terms that we need to highlight and tie in. Let's look at the 18th Amendment a little closer. If you think back to the Roaring Twenties, these are some of the vocabulary terms that went along with the prohibition of alcohol. We've got bootlegging. We've got speakeasies, those underground hidden clubs. We have the Volstead Act, which enforced prohibition. And then we have suffrage, the right to vote, because the right to vote was tied in with getting the women could get the prohibition of alcohol passed even though they didn't have the right to vote. And then we have crime actually increased. They passed the prohibition of alcohol thinking that it would do away with a lot of society's problems, but it actually did the opposite and led to an increase in crime. We also are going to highlight the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. And we need to remember some of the women who fought and led that movement for women's suffrage. So names like Jane Addams, remember she did the settlement houses too, Susan B. Anthony, Ida B. Wells, Alice with an E, Alice Paul, and just remembering the terms suffrage and suffragettes. Suffrage being the right to vote itself, and then the suffragettes, the women who led that movement. So those are the amendments for this screen.